We see the main characters, the couple Tori and Kyle. The couple has been trying to have a baby for a long time, and one day the woman feels an unusual vibration and then there is a loud pop and the lights go out. The couple looks out the window and see that something crashed near the woods. Our heroes approach the scene and realize that some kind of spaceship with a small baby inside has fallen. Our couple ends up adopting a celestial child and gives the baby the name Brandon and hides the ship to hide the truth from the child. 12 years pass, and Brandon embodies everything Kyle and Tori ever wanted. After all, the kid becomes incredibly smart and helps his parents around the house. However, for his incredible intelligence, the boy often hears insults from his peers. But with the help of his knowledge, Brandon attracts the attention of a classmate named Caitlin. One day, in the middle of the night, an alien ship starts broadcasting some kind of message, which causes Brandon to get out of bed and jump out the window and head for the barn. In the barn, the boy is found by Tori. The lady is greatly surprised when the boy tells his mother that he does not remember how he got here. In this case, the parents never told their son about the spaceship on which the guy arrived on Earth. The next morning, Brandon sets out to mow the lawn. However, the guy fails to start the lawnmower, which makes Brandon angry and accidentally throws the mower a few hundred meters away. The guy is surprised at his new abilities, and to test them, sticks his hand into the blades, but doesn't get a scratch. In the evening, the whole family celebrates Brandon's birthday at a cafe. Uncle Noah and Aunt Mary give the boy a hunting rifle, but Kyle refuses to give it to Brandon. However, the boy demands his gift back and starts to cross his father. But Kyle doesn't like this, and because of this, the family leaves in the middle of the celebration. The next day, the family goes hunting. But just before they leave, Kyle notices Brandon chewing on a fork without doing any damage to his teeth. At this time, Tori finds magazines with nude models in her son's room. However, to the parents' great surprise, they also find surgical diagrams and pictures of human organs. During a hunting trip, an awkward conversation about sex education occurs between Kay and Brandon. The father tells his son that sometimes it is okay to act on his impulses. Brandon heeds his father's words, and so that night he goes to his classmate Caitlin's house and hides in her room. The frightened girl manages to see Brandon's silhouette for just a second, which she reports to her mother. The next day at school, Tori tells her concerns about Brandon. The woman says that her son has become less obedient and more aggressive, and when Tori approaches her son, she notices that he is drawing unusual symbols in his notebook. In the evening, Kyle discovers that the chickens have begun to fear Brandon. The father asks his son if he is all right, to which he replies that he is fine. A few hours later, however, Kyle hears a strange noise outside. When the man goes outside, he finds that all the chickens have been killed and the locked chicken coop door has been ripped off its hinges. Tori believes it was a wolf attack, but Kyle assures his wife that Brandon did it. The next day, during gym class, Caitlin calls Brandon a pervert in front of the whole class, causing the boy to take the girl's hand and break her bones. Tori explains to the girl's mother that she's sorry for what happened, but insists it was an accident. But Erica is convinced otherwise and demands that the sheriff arrest the boy. Before leaving, Erica insults the boy, saying that he was born a psychopath. At home, Tori confesses to her husband that she saw her son in the barn, where he was trying to get to his spaceship. The man then realizes that Brandon is starting to pose a threat, plus as we learn, the guy has never bled from a wound in his life, nor has he had any wounds. At this time, the guy hears the signal from the spaceship again and goes to the barn, where he tears off the chain without much trouble. At this point, Tori walks into the barn and sees Brandon hovering above the ground and repeating the ship's message, "Take over the world." Suddenly the boy falls, hits the spacecraft, and is injured for the first time in his life. Tori goes downstairs and tells her son the truth about how he arrived on Earth. The woman counted on her son to understand everything, but this lie only made Brandon angry. The boy smashes the family photos and then runs away from home. Then the guy visits Caitlin in the bedroom of her house. Brandon tells the girl not to be afraid of him, that he found out today that he is different, although she noticed it before anyone else, but soon the whole world will know about it. Caitlin replies that her mother forbade her to talk to him, then Brandon says he'll deal with it and disappears. At this time Erica closes the cafe and is about to go home. Suddenly the woman notices strange symbols on the windows, and then the color begins to flicker and the lamps explode. As a consequence, Erica is injured. The woman realizes that there is someone in the room, but she can't see anyone. Erica runs to the refrigerator and locks the door behind her, hoping to save her life. Suddenly, the steel door flies out and the woman manages to see a child in a red mask before she dies. The next morning, Brandon meets his parents and says that he is fine, he has thought it over and calmed down. At this time, the police, led by a sheriff's deputy, are already investigating Erica's disappearance at the cafe. At the scene of the incident, the police find a strange symbol on the windows. Aunt Mary, who is also the school psychologist, tries to talk to Brandon, but notices that the boy is behaving very strangely and has no remorse for what he did to his classmate. The woman tells the boy that she will be obliged to report his behavior to the police. However, in the evening Brandon comes to Mary and tells her not to report anything to the police, otherwise it will end badly for her. Mary refuses to listen to the threat and sends the guy home. But Brandon sneaks into the woman's house and starts following her. Soon Mary goes to bed, and in the meantime Noah returns and finds his nephew in the closet. The man scolds the boy and says he will tell his parents everything. However, when the man tries to get Brandon into the car, the guy throws his uncle in the garage door and disappears. Terrified, Noah tries to escape in a car, but suddenly the truck stalls. Then Brandon shows up and lifts the car into the air, then drops it down. The guy walks over to the car and draws another symbol with the blood of a dying man. Brandon comes home and tells his parents that he was playing soccer the whole time and accidentally tore his jersey. His parents realize that their son is deceiving them, but there is nothing they can do about it. That same night, Tori and Kyle learn about Noah's accident. Mary tells her friends that her husband was in a car accident and also mentions that Brandon came to visit her in the evening. In the morning, the parents inform their son of Noah's death, but the son shows no emotion. Kyle grabs Brandon and accuses his son of murder, but the boy violently pushes his father away like a toy. Later, Kyle finds Brandon's clothes and notices bloodstains on them. The man tries to convince Tori that it's blood, but the woman refuses to believe it. The couple argues, and Kyle says it's not their son, but an alien. Meanwhile, the sheriff scrutinizes Noah's accident case and notices similarities to the case from the cafe. Kyle then looks through Brandon's old postcards and tries to comfort Tori by promising to take son hunting and talk to him. After the men leave to go hunting, the sheriff arrives at Tori's house. The officer asks the lady about the symbol, that it resembles two bees, as in the name Brandon Breyer. Tori says she has never seen the symbol and the officer leaves. Tori goes to her son's room where she finds his notebook. The woman realizes with horror that Brandon was involved in the murders after all. Meanwhile, in the woods, Kyle deliberately shoots his son in the back of the head with a shotgun, but the bullet just bounces off his head. The boy then disappears, but reappears already wearing a mask, and then attacks Kyle. The father tries to apologize to his son, but Brandon deals with him without the slightest regret. Later, Tori desperately tries to call Kyle, but Brandon picks up the phone and tells her that father is gone. While Tori is trying to call emergency services, Brandon begins destroying the house. The sheriff and his deputy arrive on the scene, but the boy deals with both the officer and his deputy without any problems, while Tori hides under the bed. After jumping off the window, the woman remembers that Brandon cut himself on the edges of the spaceship. Tori goes to the barn then, and breaks off a shard of plating from the extraterrestrial ship. When the woman finds her son, she tells him that regardless of his actions, she knows there is good in him. They embrace, but with tears in her eyes, the mother tries to kill him, but the son catches her arm. Angry Brandon grabs Tori, breaks through the roof of the barn and takes to the sky, then lets his mother fly free to her death. To hide the evidence of his crime, Brandon shoots down a passenger plane over the farm. The news reports that only a boy from the Breyer family survived this terrible crash. The boy himself sits eating cookies with an innocent expression on his face. Soon we are shown Brandon launching his attacks around the world, destroying entire buildings. This is the end of the movie. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. Give this video a like. Write in the comments what you think about this movie, and see you in new videos.